Oh, Lord. Good evening, everybody. How is everybody's Tuesday going? I'm gonna wait for some people to come in here and join before we jump into the content. We are going to be covering the syllabus this evening, so this is going to be like our I don't know why I keep on laughing. This is actually so serious, but yeah, we're going to jump right into everything. We'll be going through the course syllabi, and I'll kind of walk you guys through what to expect. Message from my TA, who should be joining shortly. I'm actually super excited about, I don't know about y'all, I'm actually super excited about this course. If you guys have been applying to roles and trying to get into biotech or pharma or clinical research or any of those things, then I think you're gonna get a lot of value add out of this course. Not even gonna lie. Not even gonna lie. I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how much value is added within the scope of this course. I'm literally looking like what I've been through, but that's all right because everybody's gonna be getting jobs very soon, and I'm happy that I have some support and some people who are like really excited about this too, who have agreed to serve as TAs for this course. So I have one of my good friends, Shy. She's listed on the actual course syllabus as the official TA. Y'all, my line sister's in here. She's teaching the course too. Y'all better go check out Tiana Penny. She's teaching wellness, self-care mastery. And yeah, we're both losing sleep. I mean, it actually works out perfectly because I'm already kind of in grind mode right now. If you're someone who lives in like the North Carolina area or you've met me in person before, then you know that I'm the founder of NC Young Black Professionals, which is a social enterprise group for Black professionals, regardless of the industry that you work in. I actually started it in 2023 as a way to get STEM and life science professionals together in the Triangle area, but it ended up blowing up to, I'm sorry, my necklace is twisted, so that's why I'm messing with it. It ended up blowing up, and we have way more than just life science professionals in there now. We have attorneys, physicians, we have a bunch of MBAs as part of the group. So I'm already kind of in that mode because I've been doing a lot over the last few weeks to get things off the ground because we're moving to a membership-based model for NC Young Black Professionals. We have over 250 members in our group chat, I believe. So really exciting times. I have an event coming up on Friday for that. So yeah, I'm just, already moving and grooving. So it worked out perfectly that this trend kind of took social media by storm and put me in a position to be able to offer this to you guys. Anybody that has been following me for long enough here on TikTok knows that I've I've done a mentorship program a couple years ago. I think that was 2023 or 2024. I don't even remember how many mentees I had as part of that mentorship program. I want to say it was like somewhere between like 10 and 15 mentees I had. A handful of them actually relocate, I had never met them before or seen them in real life, and we just connected virtually because I wanted to be able to offer that value to some students or some early career professionals. And a handful of them have actually relocated to the Triangle area and gotten jobs in the biotech industry, and they were students. One of them was a pharmacy student. One of them was a office assistant, a medical office assistant for a physician's office. And she had what degree did she have? Master of Healthcare Administration. Another was a PharmD. He was just graduating from pharmacy school, and I helped him to be able to land a job and move to the Triangle area. And then some of my mutuals up here. Anybody that's from the Raleigh area, if you've ever seen Jazz Melanin, she was also part of my mentorship program. She relocated from Virginia to Raleigh and landed a role in clinical research. So a lot of value with the information I share here on TikTok. If you scroll back through some of my old videos, I personally don't like doing it because it's a little bit cringy, some of those early days, but the value is still there. The value is still there. So if you ever get a chance or like are looking for something to do in between the time that I'm posting videos or lectures, feel free to scroll back through old videos, because I've been doing this for almost 5 years here on TikTok now. So I have a plethora of resources and videos for you to refer back to. But like I said, I was waiting for some people to go ahead and roll in so we could kind of go through the course syllabi for the semester. And we're gonna run this thing just like an actual class this evening. I was trying to think about when I wanted to actually, excuse me, this is my first time eating all day. I wanted to figure out what was gonna make the most sense in terms of when we should start the course for me to be able to come into class prepared. Because I have to remember, I also work full time myself, and I have other things that's going on in the midst of doing all this, like literally just random stuff. Like, I'm supposed to be helping my mama do a baby shower or a bridal shower for my cousin over the weekend, and she literally just threw this all together. So I've been doing stuff for that all day too. So I know everybody has life and other things, as well as other TikTok courses that they're taking up here with HillmanTok University. So we want to make this as easy as possible, but something that's going to be able to provide you with value, and you walk away from this experience feeling like, okay, I know more now about the biotech, clinical research, and pharmaceutical industry than I did when I first joined this. If you're someone who's a student and is just trying to explore your options, or maybe you're somebody who knows nothing about STEM or life sciences or anything like that and is just trying to explore some different career options, we're going to talk about all those things. So, without further ado, Shy, if you're in here, announce yourself so I can so I can add you to the live. And I think Shy, and I keep on mentioning Shy. Shy is my TA. She is a little bit under the weather. She said that she would still join. I don't know if she's going to go live with me or if she's going to just kind of moderate here, but a plethora of knowledge about working in clinical research. I got into biotech by way of clinical research, so I have worked, even though I haven't worked in a CRA capacity, I have worked very closely with clinical research associates, clinical trial associates, clinical trial managers, all of those things. Okay, I do see Shy in here now. Shy, let me know if you're gonna, if you wanna join the live or if you just wanna stay in the comments. I do want, if you can, it would be great if you could join the live so people could see you and ask questions to you as well. But if not, I understand. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I've never gone live with somebody else on here too, so you might have to send me a request and I can just accept it, and then we can do it like that. I may also, Shy is the only person that's listed on the syllabi as the TA. There was another one of my former clients who, okay, hold on, here's Shy. Let's see if this works.
There we go.
Okay, period. Let me see, so how does, wait a minute.
What you doing over there?
I'm trying to figure out, like, it literally is looking like we're supposed to add like 15 people up here. I just want the little side-by-side thing. Does it look like that for you too?
It looks exactly like that.
I am so weak. You know what? For a long time, I used to be like, trying to call myself Gen Z. It's giving very much millennial, okay? It's giving very much millennial. We're just gonna leave it like this.
We're gonna have to, because I don't even. I'm not even about to
I don't
put
know nothing about this
it.
stuff. Yeah, we gonna figure it out. This is what we're gonna be learning. I need a course on TikTok.
Exactly.
We enroll in. Okay. Well, we're just gonna do it like this, and we'll figure it out later. But I was saying we may have an additional TA, one of my former clients who works in. She works for Johnson and Johnson in field reimbursement. So that's like health economics and outcomes research. That's another one of those areas that is not talked about that much. So I think that would be great to have another kind of brain for you guys to pick from, just kind of have a different perspective as you are going through this course. But yeah, let's go ahead and start answering some questions and then we'll jump into the syllabus. How do you enroll? I keep seeing people say they enrolled and I've been looking. So I just literally right before this live, like 2 minutes before this live, I went and added the course syllabus to the link in my bio. So you can go to the link in my bio and download the course syllabus. It is the very first link. When you click the link in my bio, it'll take you can click on career resources, and that link will take you to my stan.store, and you're just going to enter your name and email address, and then it'll prompt you to download the course syllabus, and it'll be in a PDF version, and it'll be sent directly to your inbox. So that is how you officially enroll in the course. There are some kind of exclusive things that we'll be offering as part of this course. So I'm going to talk about those too, but just to simply enroll, think of it as you joining the course for audit. So you can just watch the TikTok videos that I post. You can join in on any of the lives and you'll just have the calendar to know when we're going to go live for office hours. You can just download that course syllabus from the link in my bio. The other link that is also in my bio with that course syllabus is going to be, I'm getting emails now about people downloading the course syllabus. The other link that's in my bio is going to be for course enrollment. So yes, you can participate in the course just by watching the videos on TikTok and also by, joining the lives, asking questions, things like that. But you can also formally enroll in the course and you'll have access to all of the course materials. So in addition to the videos that I'll be posting, I'm not worried about it. So I see a lot of people going ahead and enrolling right now, signing up for the course syllabus. That's great. Thank you guys. But yeah, so like I was saying, just to participate in the lives, to watch the videos that I'm going to post, you don't have to do anything besides, just scroll, find my page and catch up and take notes and get whatever you need out of those courses. If you want more direct kind of one-on-one assistance or group, kind of a shared group experience, what you can do is the other link in my bio is going to be for a Discord group chat where you will be a part of a group with other people who are officially enrolled in the course. So in addition to the lectures that I'll provide here, and I'll also be providing longer form videos for YouTube. I'll also have slides and course materials like a workbook, a list of different roles with some descriptions of kind of roles that you can search for as a starting point for you to get your foot in the door and just kind of have some exposure to different roles. And you'll have access to myself and Shai to ask questions anytime you want as part of the Discord group chat. So the link to that is in my bio as well if you want to be a part of that group chat. As part of that, like I said, you get course materials, you get all the PowerPoint slides, you get all the resources and materials that we'll share. Anything that we find in real time or any jobs that we might see that might be applicable to, anyone in the group chat based on what they've expressed they're interested in. We'll be sharing those types of resources as well. And we'll also be doing, I ain't told y'all this yet, but surprise, we're going to be doing resume reviews.
Not bad. I've done
reviews.
quite a few of those.
Yeah, so we'll be doing resume reviews as part of the people who decide to join the Discord group chat. Like I said, there's a lot of y'all already downloading the course syllabi right now. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit more exclusive. Everybody who just watches the TikTok videos, do not send me an email with your resume to review, because it's not going to happen unless you schedule a consultation call with me. But if you do join that Discord group chat and get access to all the materials, you will have the opportunity to submit your resume to review by myself or Shy, or both of us, if you want both of our eyes on that, and we'll provide that feedback for you as two people who work in the industry currently. And I mentioned earlier who Shy was, but I'm gonna give her just the opportunity to introduce herself and tell y'all a little bit about who she is and everything.
Hi guys, my name is Shalisha, but I go by Shy. So we're just gonna stick with that for this course. I have a bachelor's degree in pharmaceutical science with a minor in chemistry. I started my career after undergrad as an associate scientist for a contract manufacturing organization. So we made drugs for our clinical trial clients. Um, that was fun. It was boring. So I was like, let me switch it up and let me move over to clinical research. So I enrolled in a clinical research program. Before I could finish that program, I landed my first role. That was about 5.5 years ago. I've been a CRA for 4 years at this point. So I'm here. I'm excited to get to know you guys and help you guys with your transition in your course. And
Thank
I
you.
am in the Raleigh-Durham area as well.
Thank you, Shy. Um, okay, I'm trying to like keep up with some of these comments as we're going through and everything. But what I will say is I see a lot of people that are like, what is the course? Like all this kind of stuff. The course is Intro to Biotech, Clinical Research, and Pharma. So if you're somebody who doesn't know anything about any of those areas, but has heard of Clinical Research Associate, has heard of biotech, and maybe wants to consider what types of options are out there for you, then this is going to provide some exposure. This is also going to provide an overview. So if you've seen any of my videos or even followed me for any amount of time, I always emphasize, like, when I'm talking about career transitions and people moving from STEM careers or life science backgrounds to pharma, to biotech, to clinical research, it is like essential. And I always say you have to understand the industry. You have to have a foundation of the knowledge. Because even though most of us, if you worked in healthcare or have a medical background, you have transferable skill sets. If you just slap down everything that you're doing on your day-to-day basis as a nurse, it is not going to translate unless you take the time to get a foundational knowledge of drug development, understanding the different phases of clinical trials and the differences between those, and just having that foundational knowledge. So we're going to go through that step by step, like as if people are coming to this class and have no clue what drug development is or what the process behind drug development consists of. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people in the comments saying, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Like, this seems like it's gonna be hard. It's not meant to be hard. Like I said, this is gonna be more of an elective course. It's a 101 level course, so it's not meant to be, pharmacology 400 level or anything like that. We're gonna be going through the basics and breaking everything down for people who are interested, whether you're coming from a CRNA role, whether your background is as a medical assistant, whether you have worked in HR and are considering something different. I've worked with people who were history teachers before they started working in clinical research. So it really doesn't matter your background. What matters is that you're willing to learn, that you come here, and that you're willing to, participate and ask questions. Even if you feel like, okay, maybe everybody else knows this, this is going to be the time for you to say, okay, I don't know what this abbreviation means. I don't know what this acronym means. Can you explain this? Can you break this down? This is the space to ask and to do that. And it's a really unique opportunity because I can only speak for myself, but when I was transitioning, I did not have those resources readily available. It's like literally looking through, trying to find a needle in a haystack, finding all these resources in one place. So like I said, I hope this is going to add a lot of value for you guys, and you can walk away from this course being able to say, okay, I actually understand the biotech industry. I understand clinical research, and I know exactly what I need to do to land my next job. Anything you want to add, Sean?
Yeah, just don't be scared just because it's biotech, pharma, and science based. You don't have to have a doctorate degree. You don't have to have a science degree. My first clinical research job, my manager, her bachelor's degree was in art. So I've helped people transition with psychology degrees, just in any random degree. As long as you have a degree, that's pretty much uh, all like the minimum requirements for clinical research.
And
Everything
even if
else,
you don't have a degree, you can still get in. Again, it's going to take work. Like, don't think that you're going to come here, take a couple notes, scrabble some stuff down, participate week 1 and week 2, and then be mad that like in 6 weeks you still haven't landed a job. Like, it takes work. Finding that first role is going to take work, and you have to be willing to, say, okay, I actually want this job bad. Like, I want to get into this industry and I'm serious about it, and so I'm going to do whatever it takes to you know, to commit myself to this transition or to commit myself to finding a functional area that I want to pursue.
and that includes networking in real life and on LinkedIn, or other social media platforms like this one or Instagram if you find other clinical research pages or whatever. So you will have to do a lot of job applications. I'm not gonna lie to you. So you, like Alyssa said, you'll have to put in the work.
Yeah. But one thing I will say is, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, and I don't know how many people are just joining. And I'm like regretting just making the title of this live like PHCR because everybody's coming in like, what is PHCR? They did not give me that many characters to like write the full name of the course out. That's why I abbreviated it. So I'm sorry. This is Intro to Pharmaceutical or Intro to Biotech, Clinical Research, and Pharma. So intro to all, to the life science industry essentially. It's a one-on-one level course. It's an elective course. It's not meant to be hard. This is for anybody to come in and get an understanding or get a foundational knowledge of what the biotech industry is, of what pharma is, of what clinical research is. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm the founder of NC Young Black Professionals, which is a social enterprise group, and we focus on networking and providing resources to young, early career, and recent graduate Black professionals. We provide a lot of resources for one another, and I really like the idea of shared resourcing. Like I said, the course syllabus is in my bio, but there's also a link to join the Discord group chat if you want direct access to myself, to Shy, to the potential other TA that we may have, to be able to get your resume reviewed by either one of us, both having experience in biotech with pharma and with clinical research, and having access to the slides that I will be developing. Those slides will not be shared here on TikTok, and they will not be shared on YouTube. The only way that you'll have access to those like slides that are going to break everything down based on what I'm talking about is going to be to access that Discord group chat. So I think without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump right into the syllabus. Let me see how I want to do this. Do I want to flip my screen around, or it's just telling me that I'm gonna just talk through it. I'm not gonna flip the screen. I just feel like if people share their screen on TikTok live, that's fine. But like, I just think it's a little ghetto to like be flipping cameras around trying to like show a computer screen. And I've done it before, and it's not cute. Okay, so like I said, course is called Intro to Biotech, Clinical Research, and Pharma. We are going to be starting classes. I say classes with air quotations because I'll be posting our first video, or like your first introduction video, on the 31st, which is this coming Friday. So yeah, Friday is when you can expect the first video to be posted. I have not filmed that yet, so I'll probably be filming that tomorrow. I have the instructor information up here for myself and for Shy. So I have both of our social medias up here. Our virtual office hours are going to be on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be every week throughout the entirety of this course. We will have a little spring break in there because it's my birthday and I'm going out of town. So we'll have a little spring, but it falls perfectly because spring break usually falls right around like March anyway. So we'll have like a little break. But anybody that's a part of that Discord group chat, you'll still have access to ask any questions during that time. And if you need any assistance, then you'll have direct access to get support during that 1 week break. So I'm just gonna kind of read off of the course description. So like I said, this is not meant to be a hard course. This is meant to be an informational course. The course description is that this introductory course is designed for individuals interested in or seeking a role in life science industries. It provides a foundational understanding of the interconnectedness of healthcare. So thinking of healthcare like ecosystem that consists of life sciences, clinical research, biotech, which we call it biotech, it's biotechnology, and the pharmaceutical industry, which we abbreviate or for short call pharma. So some of the takeaways from this course are going to be that by the end of the course, you'll have an understanding of the knowledge that's needed to navigate these fields, regardless of which life science industry it is, and have an understanding for you to be able to start applying to jobs and explore career opportunities across these industries. And even if you have no interest in working in biotech in any of these life science industries, you can walk away from this course and be able to explain to the next person how drugs get to the market. You may not know anything about how Tylenol is on the shelf. So I'm going to start all the way from the basics. If anybody in here works in healthcare or is a pharmacist, then you know about the thalidomide incidents, you know about all those things that happen that cause FDA to start regulating drugs, food, and cosmetics. So we're going to break it all the way down from scratch and just kind of give you that understanding of okay, why does the pharmaceutical industry exist in the first place? And like I said, my background is as a pharmacist, so that stuff is very important to kind of lay the groundwork and help you understand, okay, what's how did this life science industry come to be anyways? So the main takeaways from the course or your learning objectives are going to be that by the end of the course, you're going to be able to understand the role of healthcare, life sciences, and STEM in the drug development process. This is going to be essential, especially for all those people who are interested in the pharmaceutical industry, in biotech, in clinical research, because you may be wondering, maybe you are somebody who is in the process of pivoting or in the process of transitioning, and you have taken your CNA resume and submitted it for a clinical research associate role, and you've been getting deny after deny after deny and rejection after rejection after rejection, and you're wondering why. It's probably because you need to understand the relationship of healthcare, life sciences, and STEM in the drug development process. Understanding kind of that bridge and that connection between the two is going to help you be able to get into those interviews and actually talk about it from the perspective of someone that does not sound like an amateur, or when they come into this role, somebody's going to have to hold their hand through it. Even if that may be the case, you have to think about the fact that as you're applying, you are competing against people who have formal industry experience. And that is just, there's no easy way to say it. I can't hold anybody's hand when I say it, because people are always oh my gosh, I've been applying to jobs for 6 months. And my first question is your resume tailored? Usually when they send me their resume, it is the exact clinical pharmacist or clinical, their exact PA or nursing resume that they use for nursing. So if you just got a whole bunch of travel contracts listed on there and said that, every bullet point says provided patient care or provided bedside nursing, services to patients, that's not going to cut it. When you're submitting that job application for a clinical research associate, when you're expected to travel, when you're expected to oversee what's going on at the site, when you're expected to oversee all the documentation aspects, the training for everybody that's at those sites, that's not going to cut it. It's not just going to be a free-for-all where they're deciding to pay you $120,000 a year and you get an MX Platinum card and all these nice perks and stuff. That's not how it's going to go. Better tell them, Shot.
It's not.
So yeah, understanding how all these things are connected as the overall healthcare system is going to help you be able to translate and show your marketability for these roles and identify those transferable skills to be able to speak to those things in an interview once you obtain that interview. We're also going to identify some key functional areas and roles within CROs, pharma, and biotech industries. So like I said a little bit earlier, with those functional areas, even in the introduction video that I made a couple of days ago about the course, I went through every single comment, even the comments I did not get a chance to respond to. I went through and took note of everybody's comment of things that they said were their pain points of what they wanted to learn while they were in the role. And I asked people some follow-up questions. I said things like, okay, if people were saying, I'm a I'm a pharmacist and I'm interested in transitioning into the biotech industry. And then I would say, oh, what functional area are you interested in? And people were responding with things like, oh, I'm interested in diabetes, or oh, I'm interested in this. And that indicates to me that you probably do not have enough foundational knowledge about the industry if you don't know what functional areas are versus therapeutic areas. So that's something that we're going to address as well. And like I said, with some of these key functional areas, we're going to go through some of the most important, or not most important, but some of the most popular roles that you'll hear about on social media, TikTok. But we're also going to go through some like non-traditional roles, because the CRAs, the clinical research associates, regulatory, MSLs, those are not the only roles that exist. There are so many other supportive roles that exist with getting a study activated, with getting sites activated. It's not just those main roles that you hear about that are doing everything. And so if you know about some of those roles, you can start to apply to them, and you may realize that you're more qualified for those roles, and they could be a better entry point for you than a CTA or than a clinical research coordinator role might be based on your background. And then finally, the last two are going to be to explore strategies for transitioning and applying for positions and completing foundational industry training. That's actually going to be one of the first things that I have you guys do. So if you're somebody who does not already work in the industry or has not worked in the industry before, your first assignment, and I put like a anticipated date of completion for this on here, but I mean, you can do it at your own pace. If you have other things going on, of course, do it at your own pace. But I put a link to a free GCP certification course up here, which I think would be a great pre-reading, some great pre-work for anybody who is interested in a role in biotech and has not already obtained one. This is going to be something that you get a certificate for immediately upon completion, and you can add that to your resume. It's going to be like, perfect little gold star that you can start off with as we go through this course. It's also going to help you understand things a little bit better to just get you kind of up to speed with the course as we get started. So like it'll talk about regulatory, it'll talk about adverse event reporting. It has links and like hyperlinks to the Code of Federal Regulations, which is like the regulations that help us oversee drug development. So it'll just kind of give you some context before we start. And like I said, we'll be breaking this down from square one and going from there. But at least when you hear me mention things, or like, you hear us talking about different things, you will have something to refer back to and say, oh, like I remember hearing about adverse events, or oh, I remember hearing about pharmacovigilance in the GCP course. Yes, the link is in my bio to the course syllabus. We're kind of going through the course syllabus right now, but the link to the actual document for you to download is in my bio. Anything you want to add, Sha? I'm going through.
Nope, that was perfect. The GCP certificate is really just step one. It is a must-have. I don't want y'all to think it's optional if you're really interested in making the career transition. You need to get the GCP certificate. Like Alyssa said, it'll lay that foundational knowledge. It'll go over a little bit of history about clinical research as well. So it's a very great certificate.
Yes. I always tell people to do it, and then it's like, I've had people that have reached out to me and said, hey, can you take a look at my resume? And like the first thing I usually look for on somebody's resume, if they haven't held a role in clinical research or biotech or pharma before, is, oh, have you considered doing the GCP certification? Especially since it's free and it's self-guided, and all you got to do is get 80% on most of the quizzes to, get the certification. I always ask, like, have you done this? And they'll say like, oh no, like I haven't heard of it. And so then months may pass, and then they'll reach out again and be like, oh, it's been like 4 or 5 months and I like still haven't been hearing back. Can you give me any other tips? And then they'll send me their resume back again, and I'll be like, I think I told you to do the GCP certification before, and they still haven't done it. It's something so easy. So I would highly recommend doing it. It adds a lot of value right up front. And it just shows that you're committed, it shows that you're willing to be proactive and do some of these certifications in the meantime. To get that foundation.
And I believe the one you linked is the free one, right?
Yep, it's the free one.
Yep. It's free. It doesn't cost anything.
And I feel like most roles that I've had, especially when you work in clinical research, when you have like those like required trainings for your job, it ends up being one of those courses that like a lot of companies, they actually use that exact training. Like they use that GCP training for new employees to complete. So it kind of takes something off your plate if you've already completed it beforehand. But I want to say most roles that I've had, it's been part of the like onboarding training that you have to go through and like reattest or like recertify to confirm that you're GCP certified. Number one, because it's a regulatory compliance thing, everybody that works, with any type of clinical trial data has to have that certification, because that's what FDA is going to be looking for when it's time to review a company's application, to make sure that people that were handling the data were qualified to do so and that they were trained appropriately to do so. So that is exactly what that's going to provide for you. Okay, kind of moving on. So we went through the learning objectives, we went through the course description. We're going to go through some of the learning resources. And this is what I was talking about just a little bit earlier. So let me see, I'm going to just try to summarize it a little bit. So like I said, this course, if you're scrolling on TikTok and you decide, okay, yeah, I want to participate in the course, like a lot of people like, how do I enroll? Like, how do I sign up? All you have to do is watch the videos. You don't have to do anything but scroll and watch the videos if you want to, if you want to learn a little bit and maybe you decide like, okay, yeah, this is interesting. You can get the information for free just by scrolling and watching the videos. If you want some extra, support, if you want that kind of group environment where you can, actually submit your assignments, you don't have to submit any of the assignments as part of this course. But if you just want some feedback, because we will be having at some point in the course later on, having people draft a 30-second elevator pitch that they can use when they go to networking events, because we're going to talk about networking and like what that consists of. You can drop that in the Discord group chat and we can review that for you to say like, okay, does this sound like a good elevator pitch? Does this sound like a good professional summary to put on my resume? But like I said, you don't have to do any of that stuff. All you have to do is just come to my page, watch the videos, and then keep on scrolling. You can take a couple of notes if you want to, and you can consider that you participating in the course for audit. If you really want to be proactive and you are like in the process of applying to jobs right now and like you need some extra support because you've been doing it all by yourself and maybe you want to, do it in a community environment, then you can use the other link that's in my bio, which is going to be the formal course enrollment. So that is going to give you access to, I was talking about this earlier, course slides, which those will not be provided. I'm not going to be teaching off of slides in the TikTok videos. It's just going to be kind of 3-minute overview videos of the material, and you would be responsible for taking your own notes and that kind of thing. But if you want, those guided resources, the workbook, some of the list of different positions that you can apply for that I'll be working with, she's finding a lot of this out tonight, that I'll be working with Shy to put together, then those things you can access by going to the link and joining the Discord chat. In addition to that, what I'm hoping to be able to do, because I'm one of those people who's gonna like tap my friends and tap like different colleagues and stuff on the shoulder and say, hey, I'm working on this. Would you mind helping me with this? And usually what I will say is like most of the like Black clinical research and pharma professionals that I've met, like we know how hard it was to get into the industry. So we literally do not mind helping anybody else to get to accomplish the same goal. Cause we know like we all spent months trying to get into the industry as well. Like I was doing it on my own. Like I had a couple of friends and colleagues that I reached out to that helped review resumes and stuff, but nobody was giving me daily support and motivation and, telling me all of the gems and stuff. So that is what we're going to try to provide for you guys. And like I said, I've been like already reaching out to some of my former clients that I've worked with who have landed jobs in different functional areas. So what I'm hoping to do, in addition to these lives for the people who are part of the Discord group chat, I am probably going to have some like private Zoom calls where we have Q&A sessions with like other professionals. So you'll get an opportunity to literally hear about both me and Shai's background, like the roles that we've held, like some of the, like really get that like one-on-one feel where you can like get to know us personally and hear about all the hurdles that that we had to go through to get to these positions, and also learn about some other functional areas that I haven't worked in. So like my experience is in regulatory, Shai's is in clinical research space, in as a CRA, but I have friends that work in health economics and outcomes research. I have friends that work as MSLs. I have colleagues that work as work in clinical operations. I have people that work in marketing in the pharmaceutical industry. So we will probably try to provide for people that are a part of that Discord group chat some even more kind of like value add to have some like panel discussions and things like that, where you can ask people, okay, what does a day in their life look like? What does their day-to-day work look like in health economics and outcomes research, to learn more about things that you may not have been exposed to. This course is going to be all about exposure, all about kind of helping you work through those things that maybe you have not been able to find one place where you can get all that information. Because clinical research, biotech, pharma, people kind of think of them independently, but they are all interconnected. Clinical research is merely an extension of pharma and biotech. It's not independent. Like, you see some creators that are like purely talking about clinical research only, but usually they are like working for a CRO or working on a study, on behalf of a sponsor. So like, it's still directly connected to pharma and to biotech. So that's why I just kind of did a dump all in one for this course. So like I said, the Discord link is in my chat. It's in my bio. The course syllabus link is in my bio. You can download that for free. The Discord link, you'll be added to if you click on that link and sign up for that. After this spring semester, now I don't know, what the higher ups and like the dean of admissions and all that kind of stuff, what they're gonna do after this semester. We're gonna see how this goes. All I can speak for is myself and Shy. We got other stuff to do outside of this. Shy about to get married. When's your wedding, Shy?
May.
Shy about to get married. So after this course is over, I don't know if she's doing no summer semester. We're not doing no summer course or nothing like that. So what I will say is all of the materials and things like that are going to be a part of the Discord, I will probably just upload those in one link. So if anybody, doesn't find this course while it's actually going on in real time, they can still have access to the materials perpetually afterwards and can just go and download those at a later time. So that link is also going to be in the syllabus. Those materials have not been shared yet because I haven't posted any of the videos. Like I said, the first video is going to be posted this coming Friday. But after the materials are available and after this course officially ends, all those materials will be added to a folder and you can download those at your leisure and go through them on a at a self-guided pace. So there's going to be a couple of different aspects to the course, mainly just like 3 aspects to the course. TikTok lectures, so the videos that I'll post. I'm going to try, fingers crossed, I'm going to stick to this schedule that I put in the syllabus. But my goal is to, because I know this can be a really lengthy course if I don't post multiple times a week. So I am going to plan to post 2 to 3 times a week, TikTok videos kind of breaking down the different topics. So the topics that we're going to go through are, in week 1, we'll be covering just kind of understanding the ecosystem. And so we're going to talk about how healthcare, life sciences, and biotech are connected and learn about how drug development plays into healthcare and ultimately reaching the patient. And like I said, in that first week, everybody is going to obtain their GCP certification. Like I said, you don't have to get it by the 7th, but it would be great if you do, because that's going to just help with you understanding the material in the order that we're going to go through this course. In week 2, we're going to go through the drug development process. So that is where we're going to be breaking down everything related to all the stages of drug development, clinical trials, from preclinical to trials, phase 1, 2, and 3, and 4 with post-market surveillance. And then we'll also talk about some of the roles that are involved, like some of the more prominent roles that are involved in those different steps. Next, we will talk about CROs, pharma, and biotech, and we'll talk about different roles and careers. Shy is going to be a really great resource here because I know she works with all these different positions on a daily basis as part of her current role. So we'll be talking about the differences between CROs, pharma, and biotech, and then talking about some key positions in each one of those. But like I said, if you're part of that Discord group chat, I will create kind of a list of some roles and some titles that you can look into and do some research on to see if they might be a good fit. And we'll talk about how to figure out if they're a good fit as well. Then in week 4, we're going to go through breaking into the industry. So here's where we're going to be talking about all the things that you should be doing to get yourself prepared to start applying. So we're going to be talking about building your resume, exploring networking strategies, learning how to highlight your transferable skill sets. And we'll be talking about how you can apply those transferable skill sets in the context of tailoring your resume to life science roles. And then the last couple of weeks is going to be kind of winding down. We'll talk about career transitions and networking. So we'll kind of give you some practical advice on transitioning into life science roles, how to build those connections organically. I know when people think about networking, like they feel like it is just this thing that just makes people exhausted as soon as they start talking about networking. That's one of the main reasons that I created like NC Young Black Professionals, like as a resource for Black professionals here in North Carolina, because yeah, it can feel exhausting, especially in spaces where you're not wanted or those spaces weren't created for you to be there in the first place. So we want this environment, this community to, to be somewhere where you can make networking something that you don't cringe when you think about. It's just, it's simply just like having interactions, like meeting people and creating relationships the same way you would do with, people that you're meeting for coffee and decide if you want to, be friends with them and like do things more frequently with them. I know a lot of people, they'll think of like networking as, just, having a list of people that you aspire to be like and just meeting with as many people as possible. But if you're not building those relationships, none of that stuff matters. Like one thing I can't stand, especially as somebody who has a lot of people reach out to them on a regular basis, like asking like, oh, can I do a coffee chat with you? Or, oh, can I do this? Is someone who will reach out, talk to me one time, I'll never hear from them again. And it'll be like 2 years passes and then they'll send me another email saying, hey, can you do this for me? Because normally the answer is going to be no, especially if I have other stuff on my plate at that time. I'm more likely to, be willing to give to someone freely if they're, if they just kind of check in regularly. Not saying you have to send me Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving text for every holiday, but what I like to do is, just reach out to people and say, hey, I was thinking about you. Like, how's everything going? I remember you were telling me about this. Like, how did everything turn out? Just kind of checking in, letting people know that they're on your mind is a great way to kind of like establish that rapport and maintain it. But yeah, so we want to just kind of change that perspective and like get rid of that bias that a lot of people tend to have around networking and give you some practical advice on what you can do to build those relationships. Because a lot of people say just like network. That's the way that you're going to land your next job. Yeah, your network is your net worth, but usually those dividends don't start, that return on investment from networking doesn't start to pay off like in the first 3 to 6 months. It's not going to pay off until usually a little bit later, unless you've already done some of that work early on. I can say for myself, like as someone who went from a healthcare background as a pharmacist to the biotech industry, in pharmacy school, I was super involved. I was on the national board for a lot of pharmacy organizations. I was an executive consultant even after graduation because I, really was passionate about the mission of that organization. I went to a lot of conferences and just, met different people while I was in pharmacy school. I had no idea who those people were going to end up being. Like I had no idea what companies they were going to end up at, in later years. But I just like made relationships with people. And so as a result of that, when it came time for me to start my transition, I decided I wanted to go from pharmacy to the biotech industry. As I'm going on LinkedIn and looking at different openings at companies, I'm seeing all these mutual people. I'm seeing like, oh, such and such is an associate director here. Oh, such and such is a senior director and works at this company. And it's as simple as just reaching, like I have their cell phone numbers and can say, hey, I'm looking at this role and I see that you work here. Would you mind giving me an internal referral? And in a heartbeat, people can send me the link and I can apply to that role. No hassle, no nothing. I don't have to set up no coffee chat just because I have established that rapport with them over time. So like I said, a lot of times when it comes to networking, it may not pay off immediately, but those relationships are going to be important because as you go through your career, there will be times when you are going to have to depend on other people. If you go through a layoff, if you go through any type of situation where, even situations like this, where like we're doing this course and I need people from different backgrounds to help me teach this and help give you guys some real-time advice and practical advice. And I have people like Shy, like we went to middle school together. Me and Shy did not talk. We did not talk on a regular basis after middle school, but I was always like following Shy on Instagram. I was always friends with Shy on Facebook. I was always like connected with her on LinkedIn, like after we both went to college and stuff. I would like all her stuff. I would go, on Instagram when she would post stuff about like, career, like job promotions and things like that. I'd be like, you go, girl. And, and she do the same thing for me. And so then when she did eventually relocate back to North Carolina, we reconnected, and it was literally like none of the time had ever passed. Like, so that's the importance of, just establishing those rapports and like not going into it with any expectation of getting something out of it. Anything to add, Shy? I know I've been running my mouth.
No, I don't even remember when we started.
Okay, I thought somebody. I'm late. What class is this? This is Intro to Pharma, Biotech, and Clinical Research 101. It's not meant to be a hard course. This is just a foundation introduction course for anybody that's interested or has considered the biotech industry or like any of the life science industries.
Oh, just a little side thing. The GCP link is .com, needs to be .org. So I just emailed it to you. You can update it in the syllabus.
Okay. Wait, what was it?
The GCP link is not working because it's going to .com.
Oh. Okay, I'll have to update that in. Yeah, I should have put the actual name in there so people could just like search it on Google. It is also to anybody that has registered for the course or like has downloaded the course syllabus. I have your email, so I'll be sending out some email blasts to any updates to the syllabi. I'll send out via email. So after we get done with this live, I'll send out an email to anybody that has downloaded the course syllabus with the actual link to that GCP certification. The link is in the course syllabus. So if you haven't downloaded the course syllabus, I'm not going to have your email address to be able to send you that email. But if you go ahead to the link in my bio and download the course syllabi, after we wrap up here, I'll send you the Lord, I'll send it to you. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll do the TikTok lectures. There'll be short form videos. I'll post 2 to 3 of those per week. YouTube, I'll start uploading the YouTube videos in February. Those will be longer form videos, kind of going over some of the same things. Just an opportunity for me to expand on some of those topics because there's no way I'm going to be able to get to everything in just like the short videos that TikTok allows. I'm not doing no 10-minute videos on TikTok either. I'm gonna do 3 minutes or less. So whatever I can fit into that space is what you guys will get here. Otherwise, everything else will be uploaded in longer form on YouTube starting in February. And then virtual office hours will be on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How do we officially enroll in class? So I was talking about this earlier. Technically you don't have to officially enroll in the course. You can literally just come to my page, take notes, watch the videos, and just consider that attending the course for audit. If you want to, be proactive and be involved in the course and get, feedback from us on your resume, things like that, you can join our course Discord. So the link in my bio is going to say PHCR course enrollment. That is going to give you access to the Discord chat that we will have, where I'll provide slides, provide the workshops. So we may do some private Zoom calls with people that are part of that Discord group chat, where I invite some of my industry friends in to talk about what they do in the life science industries to give you guys some more context. But yeah, anybody is welcome to just like participate for audit, watch the videos, take notes on their own, that type of thing. And you can follow along with what we'll be doing with the course syllabus, which is also in my bio. And like I said, any updates to the course syllabus, as long as you have downloaded the course syllabus, I have your name and your email address, and I'll be able to email and communicate any changes. So yeah, I think I kind of went through the course schedule. I do have some dates to kind of help us keep on track, with the course. So that's going to be on the last page of the syllabus. So the TikTok lectures will be posted 3 times a week for the first 3 weeks. And then we'll do a little spring break. Like I said, my birthday falls within that week. So I already know I'll be out of town, and I'm a bridesmaid for one of my friends' wedding. So you'll still have, like I said, I won't be posting any videos during that week of February 24th through March the 2nd. But if you're part of the Discord and you have questions, like if you need, you happen to be like applying to roles and you need help preparing for an interview or something like that, you'll have access in the Discord to still, message us back and forth during that time. Anybody else that's just participating for audit or watching on TikTok, you just have to wait till the next time I post. And then after that little mini spring break, we'll kind of finish the second half of the course, which is going to be breaking into the industry, career transitions and networking, industry insights, and then kind of wrapping up and summarizing everything that we've learned. There's no final or anything like that. Like I said, this is an elective course where you're just going to be walking away with, new information and some foundation and context of the industry. But it's meant to add value to you guys and provide you with an overview of what you can expect as you go on your journey of pivoting or landing your first role in the biotech or clinical research or pharmaceutical industry. So that pretty much sums it up, the class. Now we can I know I have not been paying attention to the chat, so I'll just kind of scroll through here. If anybody has any specific questions, feel free to ask now. And like when we do these live sessions, like since I'm only going to be doing one office hour day per week, which is going to be on Sundays, I highly recommend if y'all have questions and you're not part of that Discord group chat, that's going to be your opportunity to ask any questions. That's going to be your opportunity to, if you need clarification on any acronyms or anything like that, that's your time to ask. I know a lot of people like to just get up on live and like be viewers and not say anything. Some of y'all just like to get up here and be monitoring spirit. Y'all just want to be up here being a monitoring spirit. But if you actually trying to land a job, you better ask whatever questions you have. I'm telling you. The Discord link, I was just joking about that, by the way, y'all. I know y'all not monitoring spirits. You don't have to ask no questions if you want to. I know some of y'all are shy girls. But yeah, the Discord link is in my bio. Somebody said there's no link in your bio. So if you click the link in my bio and go, I'm trying to think. It is the bio site. So like when you click the link in my bio and go to my bio site, there is a link that says Dr. Liz and it says something about like career stuff. Click on that very first link and it's going to take you to a page that has all of the things that I was just talking about. So it's going to have the link to the course syllabus where you can download it directly. And it's going to also have the Discord. It's not going to say Discord. It says PHCR course enrollment. So like I said, it's called course enrollment because if you formally enroll in the course, you're going to be added to the Discord group chat. You're going to get access to Shy, who is my TA, as well as my other pending TA to ask us questions in the group chat. You're going to get resume reviews as included as part of that access to the Discord. Like I said, I know a lot of people, it's like every time, one reason I like decrease the amount of like career content that I was posting. It's like anytime I post a career video or like something related to pharma or biotech, I'll get a million emails and it's usually people saying, hey, I'm interested in biotech or hey, I'm interested in clinical research. Here's my resume. Look at it and tell me what I need to do. And it's too many people in my inbox to like, to manage that effectively. Like, especially like if I post a video and it gets 10,000 views or something and then I get 50 emails with people attaching their resumes, like I just cannot manage that. So luckily we have, TAs for this course and they're going to be able to help, we'll kind of like split up being able to review you guys' resumes, answer any questions you have, and you'll have different people that you can kind of pick our brains. I have experience in regulatory. Shai has experience in clinical research and as a CRA. Kay, who is going to be our other TA, hopefully, has experience in reimbursement on the commercial side of things. So health economics and outcomes research and reimbursement. So she can answer any questions surrounding roles like that. So, yeah. And I know I did see a question earlier about like somebody that was saying, oh, I'm an HR professional. Can this course provide any value? And the answer is yes. Like I know, the language sounds really technical and sciencey of like biotech and clinical research and pharma sound like really technical industries. But like when you think about the industry as a whole, like we still have finance departments, we still have HR, like we still got to get paid. So we have a finance department, we have HR, we have
roles.
yeah, like
We have
you have all of
everything.
these different positions that you see in other industries, especially if it's like applicable across. Like we have supply chain, like in biotech, in pharma, they have supply chain roles. If you work in procurement, we have positions for that in there. So
Marketing,
sometimes,
sales,
what'd you say, Sean?
marketing, sales.
Yeah, marketing and advertisement. So if your background is in marketing, if your background is in communications, or I've helped somebody go from being she was her background was in HR, but she did a lot of the like the onboarding trainings, like she developed the trainings for people. And so she moved over to the biotech industry and basically did the same thing. She was just responsible for putting together the trainings for new hires. And her salary increased by like $30,000 just because when she was doing it in higher education, it wasn't paying that well. So since she already had experience, like learning how to do all that stuff in higher ed, she moved over to the biotech industry, got a $30,000 salary increase to continue doing the same thing, just from a more like science. She had to learn a little bit about like medical information, or not medical information, but like medical terminology and things like that to be able to communicate some of those things. But don't think that just because you don't have a degree that's science or STEM that there aren't roles for you. We will focus, like as we're going through the different types of roles and positions, we will be focusing on those aspects, but all these things are going to be applicable for anybody who is just looking to maybe move to a different industry that pays more and do the same thing that they're already doing. Like if you already work in HR and you want to move to biotech for HR because maybe you work for a nonprofit and it doesn't pay well, then you have the opportunity to audit this course or to participate actively. So yeah. Let me see. If we have resumes, CVs all ready to review, when would it be appropriate to send in the Discord? You could go ahead and drop it in there. I mean, like now the Discord, if you put it, if you drop it in the Discord, like other people are going to be able to see your resume. So to maintain your privacy, you can send it to either myself or to Shy directly. Like you can send it to us as a DM and we can take a look at it that way. Or you can send an email to us, and both of our email addresses are on the course syllabus for you to email it to us. And like I said, I have a list. I have a record of anybody who joins the Discord. I have a record of anybody who joins the course formally. So I'll know, if you're somebody that's registered in the course. I'm using these technical terms like registered, like we like people don't went through the registrar's office to get in here. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? I saw somebody ask earlier, like, will we be able to, like, am I one of the professors who is going to get the course accredited so we can gain a certification? Probably not. The reason I say that is because the GCP certification is going to be more of that mainstay certification that you would need as a prerequisite for a role in clinical research or biotech or anything like that. This is meant to be an overview. So this is just kind of an informational course. And you're not going to walk away from this being an expert on any specific thing related to the industry. And so that is the reason why we're not able to provide a certification or pursue a certification for this course. Because once you finish this course, you're literally just going to be able to say, okay, I understand the drug development process. That alone is not going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, like we need to hire her and we need to pay her. We need to get this girl $200,000 because she understands the drug development process. That's not going to be the case. It's still going to be like other work involved. Like I said, those networking aspects, being able to market yourself effectively using your resume and translate that value that you've driven in past roles in the industry, and kind of communicate that on your resume that you can do the same thing in biotech, is going to be the way that you are able to secure those roles. So unfortunately, no. I wish there was a way. Maybe in the future, if we could teach a higher level course or something like that, where we're really diving into something, maybe that's something we can consider in the future. But for this, it's just going to be an introductory course. So I said, can you answer questions about Hillman University? If so, where to find for professors? I know there was a girl named like Megan or something. And she has a Google Drive link where she has all the courses or like all the, all the courses. There's somebody, I think her name is, I want to say her name is Megan or.
I saved it earlier, so I have it in my phone.
Okay, yeah, there's a Google Drive link that's been circulating, and it has all of the courses. And I wouldn't say all the courses because I've even seen more people pop up today and saying they're offering courses, but they've been trying to keep some type of like track record and list to organize like the TikTok handles and the names and the course listings for the people that are a part of HillmanTok and offering courses. But the Megan lady is the person that I have been referring to for, finding stuff that I'm interested in. Yeah, if somebody can post that link, that'd be great. I think Sha said she had it too, so she might drop it in there. Is there a link for the GCP certification? I'm going to share. So I did hyperlink one in the syllabus. I thought I had copied the link directly out of the browser window, but evidently not. So what I will do is anybody that has downloaded the course syllabus using the link in my bio, I'll have your name and your email address. And so after this live is over, I will send a mass email to everybody with the link to that GCP certification. But the name of the GCP certification, you can just Google GCP NIDA on Google and it should come up. It should be the very first thing that comes up. It's a free certification. You don't have to pay anything for it. All you have to do is make an account and it's self-guided. You just have to get an 80% on all the modules, and then it provides a certificate for you at the end. And I've honestly gone through it myself. If you're just like dedicating a couple hours a day to it, you could probably get through it in like one weekend. You probably could get through it, in one day if you just sit there and like go through all the modules and stuff. But the date that I said, is like the target date for people completing the GCP certification, just so you'll be prepared for our first, my first video that's going to drop on Friday would be by the 7th of February. Like I said, I know people have other obligations. A lot of y'all are like taking other courses with HillmanTok. So if you can't get to it by the 7th, that's okay. But if you can, that would be great. Okay. Thank you, Candy. She said just change the com to org. Yeah, I literally thought I had just like copied it directly out of the browser, but I guess I did not. Maybe I typed it out. So I apologize for that. Can we connect with you on LinkedIn? I definitely want to honor your boundaries. Yeah, I think my LinkedIn, I don't know how visible it is. Like if you try to search me, like if you do try to, you can use my information is in the syllabus. So if you download the syllabus, you can see my name and you can just like search me on LinkedIn that way. Somebody said they're not enrolling in this course, but wanted to show some love. I appreciate that. Like I acknowledged this earlier. I can totally understand because I know it seems like it's a lot since we're like kind of sitting here going through this syllabus and it seems like, oh my God, this is about to be serious. Like this is not organic chemistry or anything like that. We are literally just going over information and saying, hey, this is how you get a drug to the market. Like this is what phase 1 clinical trials consist of. This is what phase 2, this is the differences between them. This is how you translate what you do in healthcare to biotech or to a clinical research job so that you can tailor your resume the right way to land a position. That's the kind of things that we're going to be talking about. It's not going to be rocket science or anything like that. And it's not meant to be something that has you pulling your hair out and stressed out and, and crying and all this kind of stuff. Like, now astrophysics and some of those other courses, like I can see how you would feel that way. But this, if you follow me for any amount of time or like if you've watched any of my previous videos, you can see how unserious of a person I am. Like I'm not even that type of person that's gonna have anybody stressed out in a TikTok video.
I'm about to say, yeah, don't go on my page because it ain't nothing professional up there.
That's the funny part about it is like with this course, like I actually got super excited about like TikTok about like HillmanTok University because I'm seeing like all these like, it just kind of shows the statistics that Black women and Black women are some of the most educated people and like highly decorated when it comes to degrees and things like that. Because we can have fun outside of work, but then we still are educated and can go and have a professional conversation and talk to you about drug development. So it's kind of the best of both worlds to be able to learn from somebody that is a peer rather than someone that, is talking to you like you're stupid or something. I feel like a lot. I went to HBCU, so one nobody talking to me like I was stupid, but I have been, I have heard stories of people who have professors that just, talk to them like they didn't belong there, things like that. This is not that type of environment. This is an inclusive space where, you can ask freely. If there's anything you don't understand, you can, politely raise your hand and say, okay, wait a minute. Can you back up a couple steps? I don't remember what that acronym means. Can you remind me, because you keep on saying it and I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, this is a space where you can ask, and we'll be willing to stop and break things down for you as we go along. But like I said, it is an introductory course. It's not meant to be, super hard. So we're going to be starting from breaking things down anyways. The other thing is, like, I know, like, at least most of the professors that I've seen on TikTok University, with the exception of like some of the people that are a little bit more unserious, like with their course, is a lot of these professors are like adjunct professors at some of these like top universities and things like that. And they have been working in their field for 15, 20 years. Like, as you can see, I am not 47 years old. I am still in my 20s. I have a doctorate degree that I got when I was 23 years old. Because I always knew what I wanted to do, and I've always had that mindset. I've always, kind of had that like tunnel vision about my goals. And I feel like, education is one of those things that nobody can take away from you. Even if you decide you want to go and do something else later on and you don't end up using your degree, if you're ever in a bind, you're ever in a situation where you have to go and use that degree, you have it and nobody can take that away from you. So having just being a part of this course and having that extra information, having that extra knowledge, even if you don't use it right now and you are perfectly fine with the industry and the job that you're in, later on, if you decide, if somebody bothers you at work and you decide, I don't like it here anymore, you now have exposure to biotech and clinical research, and you know exactly the steps that you need to take to land another job in another industry. So this is going to be something that nobody can take from you after you know this information. You can go and brag about it and say, oh yeah, like I know how drugs get to the market. I know about FDA regulations. I know about CFR 312. Like, I know what that means. I know what a 1572 is. You can talk your stuff and tell people that you know a little something, even if you are not getting a formal degree in it up here on HillmanTok.
And really, it's just so interesting. Once you start getting into clinical research, just things that we use every day that go through clinical trials. Like, I just saw something the other day. There's like a new braces device where you put it in your mouth and it speeds up the treatment for your braces. That had to go through a clinical trial. I had braces, so I got braces now, but I missed that. I needed that. But it's just so many different things that we use every day that we don't realize go through clinical trials. Makeup goes through clinical trials. Medicines for pets go through clinical trials. So it's so many. It's not just human trials either.
I saw a roll on, and I used to post, like, I never wanted to be one of those pages where like every single day I'm like, look at this job description right here. Like, but I used to post some like every once in a while, like, unique opportunities that I would see on LinkedIn. Like the other day I saw a regulatory affairs specialist role for One Size makeup, like the setting spray. I saw a regulatory affairs specialist position. And I was like, oh, this would be perfect for somebody who had a background in like cosmetics or like chemistry or, any of those like types of backgrounds. That would be great. And I think I even saw like some type of like quality assurance role for Too Faced, like the concealer. So you'd be surprised. Like you can, even if you don't go into biotech or pharma or any of those things, like a lot of these roles are applicable to other industries. Because when you think about, like, people think of FDA and think, oh, it's only drugs. FDA regulates animal products. They regulate food, cosmetics, drugs, all of these different things. They have some oversight over. And of course, like, obviously we don't know what's going to happen as far as, politically and like, next steps with like FDA and who's going to be running it and what that's going to look like. But that's not going to change the fact that products, somebody just can't go in their backyard and mix up some dirt and some like essential oils and stuff and then put it on the market and say it's going to treat hypertension. That's just not going to be the way that drugs get to the market. There's still going to be a process for it, and so it's important to understand what goes into that process for you to land roles in these industries. So yeah, like cosmetics, like if you have a background in nutritional sciences, I know I've worked with clients who have gone into biotech or pharma or clinical research with a background in like nutritional, in like nutrition or something like that. But there are also like nutrition roles, like you can work in the agricultural space, in regulatory and quality assurance in manufacturing, for like, because their regulations instead of FDA is going to be, along with FDA are going to be like USDA and things like that. No, this is not class. This was our syllabus class. So we were just kind of going through the syllabus here. My first video, like first official lecture, will be up on the 31st, which is Friday. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I know we said we'd be up here till like 8 or 7:45 now, so or 7:45 Eastern time for anybody on the East Coast. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask. We'll hang out up here for a little while just to make sure nobody else has any questions that have gone unanswered. But if you haven't already done so, make sure you download the course syllabus, which is in my bio. When you download the course syllabus, it's going to give me your information. We've already addressed the fact that the GCP certification link that I put in the course syllabus is not working. It's .com and it should be .org. But what I will do after this live is send an email to anybody who has downloaded the course syllabus, and I will send out the correct link for that GCP certification. That is your assigned, or that's like your homework between now and the 7th of February. The goal is to complete that certification. Like I said, the certification is free. It only can add value to you. There's nothing, even if you decide you don't want to pursue a career in one of these fields, it can only just be something else that, decorates your resume or like add some value for you. It just gives you some extra knowledge that you might not have had before. So I highly recommend doing it and taking it seriously. Don't just click through it because you're in the process of applying for jobs right now. Like click through and actually read those modules, so you can have an understanding. So you can register for the course. There's no formal registration for the course. You can participate in the course just by watching the videos, liking, sharing, reposting, all that good stuff. If you are someone who is actively looking for positions in clinical research, drug development, clinical trials, biotech, any of that good stuff, and you want a group setting with some shared resources, we will be providing slides, that kind of thing. We'll also provide some like private sessions, like Q&A and panel discussions with some of my colleagues who work in different functional areas. And we'll be providing resume reviews if you formally enroll in the course, and that link is in my bio as well. So if you want that one-on-one direct assistance and support, and you want to be able to talk to, and network with other people who are taking the course, then you can join the Discord group chat. And that link is in my bio, and it's called PHCR 101 course enrollment. So that would be how you formally enroll. But like I said, it's free to scroll on TikTok. It's free to watch the videos. It's free to comment, share, like, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe so you can see the longer form videos that are going to be posted starting in February. You don't have to do anything extra to audit the course, or to just watch the videos and take notes on your own. Anything else, Sha? Anything else you can think of?
No, just make sure y'all do that certification. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think I started with like my intro or anything like that, or like who I am or my background. I know Sha introduced herself a little bit earlier. So my name is Alyssa. I go by Dr. Liz here on TikTok. I'm a pharmacist by training. I work in biotech, specifically in the functional area of regulatory affairs. My background is in strategy. I also have experience in labeling and in advertising and promotion. So we'll talk about this kind of more in detail on some of these labs and things like that. But you can think of the life science industry as kind of one big umbrella, and then within that umbrella, you have pharma, you have biotech, and you have clinical research, which is an extension of pharma and biotech, um, because clinical trials and like the drug development piece is what clinical trials is. And then within all of those different industries, you have umbrellas of functional areas, which is kind of like the group that your job falls under. So you have on the development side of things, you have clinical operations, you have regulatory, you have quality. What else, Shai? What am I missing?
You have data management. That's a big one.
You have data management. Um,
It's like the sales team.
you said what?
The sales team.
Yeah. Yeah, so like on the development side, you have all those roles. Then when you move over to like commercial, you have sales. So when you think about pharmaceutical sales reps, they fall under sales. You have medical affairs. So a lot of pharmacists go into medical information. So if you have worked in a clinical setting or worked in healthcare and you've ever had to like call and report a side effect, or if you ever had to call the pharmaceutical company and like maybe your refrigerator shut down and like wasn't working for a short amount of time and you had insulin or some products in there and you didn't know like, okay, do we need to throw all of this insulin out? Like if you work, that's happened to me as a pharmacist working in the hospital, like working night shift, and then we go to pull a med to send it up to the floor and the refrigerator is off, it's not working, and now we're trying to figure out, okay, do we have to throw away all this drug because drug is expensive? That means we're gonna have to reorder it. That also means we're not going to have any to administer to patients while we're here. So, usually what we'll do is kind of get on the phone and call the pharmaceutical company and talk to their medical information department to say, okay, the fridge went out and it's been out for the last 45 minutes. How long do we have before we have to discard this drug? Or, can we move it to a different fridge? And, what does that change the drug expiration date to? The pharmaceutical company, because they have conducted those clinical trials, they're going to have data on stability, on the formulation, on all these different things like the excipients and whether or not they're going to disintegrate in that short amount of time, depending on the temperature and how long the temperature, excursion has happened. And so medical information is going to be like the department that usually facilitates those responses. You have medical affairs. So when you think about the people that are at different conferences on behalf of pharmaceutical companies, talking to physicians and things like that at some of these like neurology conferences, that's usually the medical affairs team. We talked about this a little bit earlier. You have marketing. So when you think about like the packaging, I wish I had something sitting here right now. I just kind of use this as an example. I have this Celsius sitting here the same way that you have. I'm really trying to see if I have some Tylenol or something sitting around. I do not, but yeah, just like you see the nutritional facts on the back of here. If you have a drug product, the marketing team is going to design usually, or the advertising and promotion team will usually work together to design the artwork, to make it visually appealing and have nice colors and look pretty and stuff. And then they will, coordinate with the medical information and scientific information and regulatory labeling to make sure that all the information on the back, or like the drug facts, reflect the data that we have from the clinical trials. So that's another one of those kind of subgroups within the functional area of medical affairs. And then you have MSLs that are like out field-based, having scientific conversations with providers, prescribers, PIs, all that good stuff. So many different roles. And you notice like I've named all these different positions and functional areas, and we only talked about clinical research associate and clinical research coordinator. That was just kind of the tip of the iceberg. So a lot of these different positions that you can get into within the context of these industries. Okay. It's 7:54, so we're gonna be up here for like another 5 minutes or so. After that, our next live is gonna be on Sunday, and we'll kind of be going through. I'll be answering any questions that anybody has about the first video that I post on the 31st, which is Friday. Someone said they're having a hard time joining the Discord chat. So the Discord is going to be the link that says PHCR 101 course enrollment. If you click enroll now, then and complete the form and complete the payment portion, then it'll provide the link for you to join the Discord. If you don't already have Discord downloaded on your phone, then you'll have to download Discord to get access to the Discord group chat. But if you have any issues beyond that, feel free to email me and I can just add you manually if I need to. Any advice on pivoting between functional areas? We'll actually be going through that as part of this course. Let me see. Pivoting. Wait. We'll be talking about transitions in week 5. But what I will say, like, is if you're somebody who's already in the industry and you're not necessarily pivoting from healthcare or from STEM to the industry, and you already work in one functional area and are going to another, I would say the best thing that you can do is to get as familiar as possible with the functional area that you are wanting to go into. And if you already work if you already work in the life science industry, then you have the advantage probably of the company that you work at. You may be able to talk directly to people who work in that functional area and leverage their knowledge and help them to kind of, advocate for you moving over into a different functional area. Like I've seen people go from quality to regulatory within the same company, after they get some quality experience under their belt. A lot of people, like, once they kind of reach that ceiling and decide, okay, I want to do something else, they'll move over to regulatory. And I've seen pharmacists and like other healthcare professionals that come in and start in regulatory as their entry point into the industry. And then, maybe after a certain point, they decide, okay, I want to move and do something else. And they usually go to medical affairs. That is a great area for PharmDs because of the clinical knowledge that we have. Medical information, I see a lot of pharmacists in, but I also see people that are like, that don't have doctorate degrees or like advanced degrees. I see them in medical information, like some of those like specialist roles or associate roles can be people with just like a bachelor's degree or a master's degree.
And I will say, if you're already with the company, I would definitely talk to your manager and just let them know that you have interest. And sometimes they can find other people to partner you with to give you like a day in the life of there, and then possibly give you small tasks to take on as well. So definitely already being with the company, you do have a leg up in that area.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if I don't know, I think somebody yesterday on the live that I had was saying like, oh, they didn't feel comfortable going to their manager, because like maybe they didn't have a good relationship with their manager and didn't want to mention it to their manager that they want to go to a different department, which you can even do, especially if you're at a company where you have peers that or other teams that you're working with cross-functionally. What I do is like, especially some of like my board, my favorite people on different teams, like I have like a regular meeting, kind of a standing meeting set up with them like every couple of weeks. Or, if I am on a group call with somebody, I'll, say, hey, can I set up some time with you, to meet with you sometime next week or sometime later this week, or like send a message to them on Teams or something. And then, just kind of ask them like about their job, ask them about what they do, and if there's anything that they need any help with. Like that is a way that I've gotten experience in a functional area outside of my own to be able to use that to leverage later on, is just having conversations with people, especially in biotech. Or clinical research, there's always going to be people always going to be overwhelmed. They're going to always be willing to like give up some of their work and like hand it off to somebody else if somebody else is willing to do it. Not saying they don't want to do their job, but like there's always so much to do. So if somebody offers you and says, hey, if you need help with anything, let me know and I can assist you with it. Most time people will say, oh yeah, of course. Here's what you can help me with. And I've gotten experience with medical writing. Honestly, I do not like medical writing. I'm good at it. Like both of my mom and my grandmother were both educators, and they both were like, their majors were English. So like they would, my entire childhood, they were like drilling me about writing, about, grammar and like all these different things. So I am just naturally a good writer. It is not something I like to do like scientifically or like medical writing. But in my very first role in regulatory, I was working in academia for Duke University, and we had a very small scientific writing and medical writing team. I think it was literally 2 people, and we had way more studies than what was supporting, than what 2 people could support in terms of writing scientific documents. So we only took like the more bulky documents to them. I'm talking about even stuff like an informed consent document, even the daggone clinical protocols. Like me as a regulatory affairs person was helping the physicians, because a lot of these physicians had, this was their first time being a PI, or this was their first time like conducting a study on their own. They did not know anything about how to write about how to write a protocol. And they would literally just be like, yeah, so this is what I can't, here's what I want to do with this study. And this is how often I want to monitor the patients and stuff. And I'd be like, wait a minute, we got to pump the brakes. Like there's going to be some extra, things that we need to include in here. And so as someone who had regulatory knowledge, but also had my pharmacy background and was just, had context on being able to do scientific writing, because I asked somebody if they needed help one time and they showed me like the style guide and like showed me how to do some medical writing. I was able to add that to my resume. And that's like something that people are always shocked by when they see it on my resume. They're like, medical writing, you've never had a medical writing role. How do you have medical writing experience? So just even things like that can be helpful to help you pivot when you're trying to move from one functional area to the other. Okie dokie. Okay, I think the time is now 8 o'clock. I have another meeting to jump over to. So we're going to get off here. First video will be posted on the 31st. If you haven't already, download the course syllabus. All you got to do is enter your name, email address, click download. It'll send you the syllabus. If there are updates to the syllabus, as long as you have downloaded that syllabus, I will be sending out any changes or any updates that will be happening to the syllabus. If we get off course, or like if we, need to add anything extra on there. Like I said, I have another call to run too, so I will not send the GCP link immediately, but I will send it after I finish up my next call for everybody to have it. But if you want to go ahead and like look it up yourself, you can go on Google and just search GCP NIDA. The very first link is going to be the certification. It's free. You can just make an account, go through the course, and do it yourself. And it's self-guided. You can also add that to your resume as a certification once you complete it. And if you have not already done the GCP certification, try to target having that completed by the 7th of February, because we're going to do some discussions on live and things like that. Maybe do like some little pop quizzes on live to ask you questions to make sure you actually read the material. If you want to join the Discord, you will have to formally enroll in the course by going to the course enrollment link in my bio and click enroll now, and you will have access to the Discord. You'll have access to submit your resume for myself, Shai, and our other TA to review, and have access to ask us any question that you want in a private kind of group setting. So thank you guys for joining. I look forward to being your instructor in this course. And yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shai. I'm gonna text you.
Okay. Bye, guys.